Permodalan Nasional has announced a total distribution of 5.5 cent per unit for Amanah Saham Bumiputera unit holders. The payout comprises 5 cent distribution and a 0.5 cent bonus for FY19. The income distribution for the year was lower than last year's total distribution of 7 cent, comprising 6.5 cent distribution and 0.5 cent bonus. The total payout for income distribution will amount to 9 billion ringgit, benefiting 10 million unit holders, bringing PNB's total cumulative income distribution and bonus to 152 billion ringgit to date since its inception in 1990. Amanah Saham Nasional also announced an income distribution of 2.75 cent per unit, reflecting a dividend yield of 4.4%. PNB Chairman Tan Sri Zeti Akhtar Aziz says it had been a challenging year for businesses in general as countries dealt the prolonged trade war and slowing global growth that turned markets volatile. However, she says that despite the headwinds, ASB was still able to deliver, helped by its increasing international investments as planned under PNB's Strategic Asset Allocation Framework. New Group Chief Jalil Rashid says the fund had conducted a mid-term review of its 5-year strategic plan. As such, PNB is looking to improve key focus areas, namely strategic asset allocation, optimal liquidity management, enterprise risk management, and organizational transformation. In terms of asset allocation, he says PNB will intensify efforts to diversify its investment portfolio, which includes its strategy to increase global exposure. For the first 11 months of 2019, PNB's total assets under management grew 5.7% year-on-year to 311.9 billion ringgit, while its total pro forma net income is 10.7 billion ringgit. Ex-PM Datuk Seri Najib Razak has backtracked on his previous claim that his signatures in several documents related to 1MDB's former subsidiary SRC International were forged or manipulated. Najib admitted in court that he could not confirm whether the signatures on the documents were his or not. He maintained that there is a need for a writing expert to verify the authenticity of the documents and signatures. In the cross-examination this morning, the prosecution tried to portray Najib's earlier forgery claim as an afterthought. Appointed prosecutor Datuk V. Sitambaran pointed out to Najib that 7 of the questionable documents were given by the prosecution to the defence on October 18, 2018 and the other 2 on January 1, 2019. Hence, Sitambaran says it was not possible for Najib to dispute the documents only after defence was called. In fact, the prosecutor pointed out that when Najib was shown the documents during the MACC's investigation, the ex-PM then confirmed that they were his signatures. The High Court has vacated the Jan and Feb trial dates of Datuk Seri Najib Razak and former Treasury Sec Gen Tan Sri Muhammad Irwan Seriga Abdullah's International Petroleum International Corp case. This is to make way for the SRC International hearing where the former Premier's defence had been called. Najib and Muhammad Irwan are facing criminal breach of trust charges involving 6.64 billion ringgit of government funds in the IPIC case. Justice Muhammad Nazlan Muhammad Ghazali, who is presiding over both cases, has fixed February 27 as mentioned to set the new trial dates for the IPIC case. To recap, Najib and Muhammad Irwan had claimed trial on October 25th last year to 6 counts of misappropriating funds, the monies allegedly channeled away from their original purpose and instead going to service 1MDB debt. George saw its third quarter net profit drop by 50% to 10.3 million ringgit due to lower contribution from its engineering division. Revenue was also weaker, coming in almost 30% lower at 72.9 million ringgit compared with 103.6 million ringgit previously. Despite the softer numbers, George still declared a second interim single-tier dividend of 1 cent per share. In a statement, Chairman Tan Sri Tan Kee Hock called the results credible despite the substantially lower contribution from its engineering and construction business, which he said emphasized the robustness of George businesses. Going forward, the group is banking on its long-term license agreement with Honeywell to grow its water meter business. He adds that the group is also well-positioned to explore opportunities arising from the government's drive to resolve the country's non-revenue water issue and explore new rail projects. Standard Chartered Bank Malaysia's unit Standard Chartered Sadiq has inked a multifaceted long-term collaboration with Lembaga Tabung Haji involving the Pilgrims Fund's overseas properties and travel business. Bernama reports that the bank has extended a 2-year Sharia-compliant financing facility totaling £65 million to 2 of LTH's subsidiaries. Part of the funds will go to renovating LTH's existing office property in London, while the remainder will be used to finance the purchase of a second office property owned by the fund's unit in Surrey. This is the first Islamic structured funding deal for Standard Chartered Sadiq in Southeast Asia.